Hey, JD here. I've got a couple of projects on the go at the moment. I thought I'd show you the one that I've been working on this afternoon. So one of my projects is a radio receiver project, and I was procrastinating because I wasn't into wanting to do the PCB today, but I'll probably do that later anyway. But just to procrastinate, I thought, well, I want a tuning dial on it, so let's have a go at that. And well, this is the final product here. That's a little... Is that going to focus? Little encoder that I'll probably try for the first iteration of this. And I was also kind of on the last bits of the ABS roller filament. So this one I've printed fairly lightly, and I would have printed it again. This it's not a real good fit there on the back. But the action, the bit that I wanted to make a point of was just the finger. It's wobbling a bit just because it's loose at the back. Yeah, so this little bit here, I don't know if you can see that, but it is actually, yeah, it's loose from the rest of the piece. It's got a bit of an hourglass shape, and there's a little shelf halfway that's stopping it from coming out. When I printed it, there was some support under there, and I had to sort of push it back and forward and worry it a bit and rotate it until it had worn down enough to have a good feel to it. So when I dial around, the that piece under the finger stays still while the rest of the dial turns, and that's what I wanted. It actually feels quite good, so that's very cool. I did start off with this one, and I'm still playing around with Google SketchUp, which I shouldn't be doing anymore, and that's why that piece stuffed up. So that it's probably a bit too tight in there to begin with, and also the way that I'd made the piece kind of stuffed that up. I'll show you a bit later. I had to make the piece outside this and then place it inside. So this piece here was a little bit different, and I had to change that. And when I changed it, I decided to make it a little more of an hourglass shape, real shape. It was a little bit burnt there on the bottom, and that's where the finger goes in. Alright, I'll just show you in Google SketchUp. I'm in SketchUp here. Here's the straight up and down one that I tried earlier, and that didn't work. There's something about the top bit here, the way that I'd cut that out or put that on, that in Google SketchUp was a bit funny, and the slicer didn't like it, so it didn't print it. And I think this one's better anyway, the one that I ended up using. It's got a bit of a deeper dish for the finger, and the hourglass shape lets it wobble a little more, gives it a bit more freedom of movement inside the cavity that it's being held in, which I'll go to. So there's the tuning dial, on the bottom is the cavity for the encoder shaft, and I've just placed that in there. And let's see if I can see. You can just kind of just see in here that it's it's more or less just sitting in here, free of any connections, but the slicer will have put support underneath that, so when I printed it out, I had to sort of wobble it back and forward and keep rotating it until it had ground down and felt free, and it turned out quite well. Now I've got to do I've got to do that PCB and all the rest of it.